gonna talk about a show that I'm really pissed off at. Oh, but what show is it now, Meowthy? You're always mad at a show. Well, I'm mad at a show that used to be really goodly, and it is gone. Well, I guess it hasn't gotten that bad. It's just not like it used to be. But I get it. Nothing's the way it used to be because this is 2025 and blah, blah, blah. What show am I speaking of? The Ultimate Fighter. Da, da, da. They have like 1 million seasons. It started in the early 2000s. Now, it's still going. And of course, all TV like that was just better in the early 2000s. We all know that. It's not shocking. But this show is gone from super awesome and exciting to watch, and it's gotten very repetitive. It's supposed to focus on the fighting parts and stuff, like when they do the fucking cage match and whatnot. I should probably explain what the show's about, in case any of you haven't seen it or don't watch it, which a lot of you probably don't. I only watch it because Fakey makes me fucking watch it, which I used to not mind. It used to be a goodly show. This show is about UFC fighting and whatnot. They find people from all over the place that want to be in the UFC, and they put them in a house with no phones or anything. It's that kind of thing. There's teams in the show that you put on, and then you have a coach, which is usually a UFC fighter or a retired one or whatever, but it's one of them. Whereas team you're on, it's that team versus this team, and their fighters versus their fighters, and they have to fight each other, and then at the end, whoever's the last 2 fighters or 4 fighters sometimes, they fight each other, and then whoever wins, yay, they're in the UFC, whatever, yay, they win. Here's my major problem. The show used to be action-packed. The people would live in the house and they'd go fucking crazy. The fucking railing would be ripped off the stairs and everything. It was wild, alright? Now I get it. People can't just go on this show and wreak fucking havoc. That's not what it's for. I understand. But not only that, the coaches also used to go at it too. It usually causes some tension there. And they usually show a lot more of it. Of, oh, this fella in the house doesn't like this fella. And they bicker and shit. And you know, it makes good TV, alright? And usually the coaches, they don't always like each other, so they'll argue back and forth. They'll be all, hey, I'm gonna beat you at this match. And the other guy's all like, I'm gonna beat you at this match. Well, bam! And they just go back and forth like that. And it's a phenomenal time. Now that doesn't happen really anymore. At all. I get it. These people are bye, Mom. These people are fucking doing a serious thing. They're trying to actually get in with something fucking real and serious. And they don't want to fuck up their chance of being in the UFC. But still, the show used to be way better. Now, I'm not saying people should go on this show and totally throw out their chance. I'm just saying, where has it all gone? These coaches on this season apparently didn't like each other anyway. But there was nothing there. There was no really arguing or anything. Chael was kind of funny. The other guy seemed to get mad at his fighters, and he'd be like, oh my god, you didn't win. 2 of his fighters he got pissed at for not winning, it seemed like. You know, I don't think that's how he meant to be, but whatever. Just overall, really not a great season. And it's been like this the past 3 fucking seasons. It's been very dry. There's been no action-packed parts where I'm like, oh my god, are they gonna fight now? Oh my god. I haven't felt like that at all anymore watching this show. I get it. It's not a drama series. If you've ever watched the older seasons, you know what I'm talking about. There used to be entertaining parts like that of people arguing and shit. And it'd be like, oh, what are they gonna say next? I don't know. It was the excitement of the show. Now it's just very dry. Everybody's really nice to each other, which is great. People should be nice to each other. But every season has become the same shit every time. I don't watch it for the fights. I watch it for the action that used to happen in the house. And now in the fucking house, it's people living together, which is great. They're getting along. But it makes the show a bit bland compared to how it used to be. Now, if the show was never the way it used to be, where there was like people fighting, getting crazy, fucking wrecking shit and all that, if the show was never like that before, then this wouldn't even matter to me. It would be like, okay, the show's always been like that. And Fakey, you all know Fakey. Well, in case you don't, Fakey's the guy that deals with me 24/7. Anyway, he always says to me, it's okay. Dana White knows that the show has gotten a bit bland. He's trying to fix it, I could tell. And I'm like, oh, really, Fakey? I don't know about that, because it's the same shit every fucking season. I'm never watching the show again. I say it every year. Guess what? Summer comes, I'm forced to watch this damn show again. All of this, though, is not nearly the main thing I'm mad about. My main fucking problem that I have with this fucking show that really fucking pisses me the fuck off is the fact that they're putting people that have already had their chance in the UFC in the show. The show is for people that have not had a chance in the UFC to get a chance in the UFC. So why the fuck did somebody just win the show that's already had a chance in the UFC? Why? Why did that guy win? Why was he even there? He's already... Oh my god. This makes me so fucking pissed off. So the guy that won that was already in the UFC before, his name was Joseph Morales. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And then I guess he was like, I don't know, he was lacking, so he wasn't in it anymore. For some reason, he wasn't in it anymore. So they put him in the Tough House, Ultimate Fighter Competition House. He goes on the show, even though he's already had his chance in the UFC, even though this show is for people that are getting their first chance in the UFC, and they all want it so bad. Everybody's got some kind of very upsetting story on the show, and I'm like, fuck, I want them to win. This season, there was this one guy that was like, I'm doing this for my mom. I gotta win for her because she's had to work her whole life, and I don't know his full story, but it was a sad story, and I'm like, I want that guy to win. Anyway, they all have a fucking sad story, and it makes me want them all to be successful. They all deserve it. It's just, then you just, oh my god, this is so fucking unfair. And I know we're all gonna say, oh, well, Meowthy, life's unfair. Life is unfair, Meowthy. Get used to it. I know that. I am on this planet too. But this show, I really thought, was for people that have never had a chance in the UFC. So why the fuck are we letting people in it that have already had a chance? And this isn't the first time this happened. So it drives me even more fucking insane. That's what gets me. James Krause. I forget what season he was on. Some of you may have heard me talk about this guy. I don't know much about him. He was a UFC fighter or whatever. They put him on Ultimate Fighter when he was already in it. He was either already in it or he had already been in it. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? How about we give somebody a chance that has never had a chance in the fucking UFC? I mean, these people are coming from countries like you maybe have never even heard of. These people really put the fucking work in. I'm not saying that the people that have already been in the UFC don't put the work in, but what I'm saying is they've already had their chance. If Dana White wants to think about putting them back in the UFC, that's great. Go ahead. Why are they gonna be on a show that gives people a chance to be in the UFC that have never had a chance in the UFC? Why put someone that's already had their chance on that show? That is so fucking unfair. And I get it. Oh, so they could prove themselves to Dana White. You already had your fucking chance to do that there. So I don't fucking understand it. I really want to understand it. They could have put someone else on the show that has never been in the UFC so that they could have a chance. You know how many people around this fucking world probably want to be in the UFC? A fucking shit ton. So why the fuck are we taking that opportunity and giving it to someone that's already been in the UFC? Why? And now, here's what makes me the most angry. Oh yeah, this makes me even more mad than I already said I was. Listen, the guy on this most recent season that was already in the UFC, he won the fight to win the whole fucking show now. So now he's back in the UFC, which good for him, whatever. But my problem with it is the fact that someone that's never had a chance to be in the UFC could have had that spot. That's why I see it as unfucking fair. Now yes, second chances are fucking phenomenal. I just feel like if they want to do that, they should either have like a separate show. And what I really don't get is why is it that you can't like contact them and be like, okay, well I want to be back in. But maybe that's what happened. Maybe these people do contact them and say, hey, I want another shot at this job. I know I could do it. I know I could do it. And then Dana White's probably like, you think you could do it? Then you can go to the Tough House, alright? I'm not fucking around with you. Hang up. That's how I imagine he'd say it. Maybe that's what fucking happened. And that's how Dana White wants these people to prove themselves to be in the UFC again. That would make the most sense to me. At least that calms me down a bit. But it still just makes me think of all the people around the world that really want this chance to be in the UFC. And it was kind of like that could have been them. That could have went to somebody that, you know, no one's ever heard of. That might be really insanely good at fighting. You just don't know. They're out there. And they didn't have that spot this year because somebody that's already been in the UFC had that spot. That is fucking ridiculous. The people that have already been in the UFC, they probably go into those matches like, yeah, I've already been in UFC. This is nothing, baby. Oh, yeah. I feel like they're all, like, cocky about it, and they think they're the shit. Now, I don't know if this is how they think, but it's like, yeah, but you already had your shot. It's like if you were a pro football player playing against a kid that just started playing football. No shit, you're gonna win is what I'm saying. I'm not saying the other people that have never been in the UFC don't have the skill, but the people that have already been in the UFC, they've seen all this shit before. It doesn't fucking make sense there at all. I want the Ultimate Fighter show to just be people that have never had their shot in the UFC. I want it to just be people that are like how it is for the most part. I'm doing this because my family deserves more and I'm gonna give it to them. I'm a fighter. I want more of that. Dana White, please tell me why you're doing this. Why do you allow this? I need to know. It drives me fucking crazy. I sit there watching this show, fucking pissed off as fucking shit. Really pissed off. I don't want to see someone that's already been in the UFC, win a competition, to get back in the UFC. What the fuck is that? Really? I want to know why. It is destroying the show for me. I cannot believe it either that now this person won. And that's great. Good for them. I'm not trying to wish bad on anyone here, but it's not fucking fair, alright? My conclusion. I need answers on this one question. I will say it one more time clearly. Why is it that someone that's already been in the UFC is on a show to get in the UFC? Shouldn't it just be people that have never been in the UFC on this show? Wouldn't that make sense? Because the show is to compete to get into the UFC? I want answers to this question, and I want it fucking now, alright? I don't want to somehow fucking have to contact Dana White. I don't know how to do that. Get my question answered. I want a fucking answer. I just want my question answered. I will feel so much better if my question gets answered. Even if I don't like the answer, I will still not flip out about it anymore. I will chill the fuck out. But I can't chill out until I understand why. Like for more shit I don't like, comment on other shows you want me to check out and review or whatever. I'm wishing that you enjoyed my rain video today. And if you didn't, I'm sorry. I just had to get that out of my system. Thanks for watching anyway. Appreciate it a shit ton, of course.